I was born in Small Rapids, Minnesota, on June 10, 1922. We were 40 degrees below zero. Frankham and Elizabeth became parents of Francis Ethel Gum in Minnesota. The couple tried to induce a miscarriage to avoid financial issues if they lost their third kid. They failed to terminate the pregnancy. Francis was born in New Rapids, Minnesota, at night when Frank answered the doorbell. Marcellus, tense, asked Frank and Frank Seibel, "What's wrong? In our family, catastrophe has struck. Evil's pregnant again, and we can't afford it," Mark said. "We don't want more kids, and I can't afford them." Mark inquired, "Can I arrange an abortion for your wife?" "I am," Frank said. I told him to stop being ridiculous. "Explain to your wife that I insisted she have this baby." Nell became a family favorite, and I started Bing and hum tunes to highlight her music improvement by age 11. Her mother taught her and her older sisters to perform. They were Gump sisters. Music. After gaining popularity, they were requested to perform on a short film. France loathed being nicknamed Baby Gums, so they were told to change their name. Judy and the students. Music Ethel Gum had always desired to work in show industry and bought a theater with her husband to achieve her ambition. She recognized a potential in theater after getting so far. Always, she forced her daughters to take amphetamines in the morning to get ready and sleeping pills at night. For 12-year-old Judy, this started her addiction. Before outgrowing her sisters, Judy Beaton became beautiful and more talented. Her mother realized she was overshadowing them and focused on her work. Judy was chosen in the fall of 1935 after many auditions. Judy's mother was probably living her dream. She wanted to sing, and her 3 kids were brilliant, but Judy was the best. At 13, MGM co-founder Louis B. Meyer offered her a contract because he was so thrilled by her performance and wanted to hire her right away. The family was saddened when her father died 2 months after signing. Judy could only move on to do what was right for her family. She worked under her MGM contract but had issues. Too old to play a child, too young to portray an adult. Working with 13 and 12-year-old girls was fun. 18 was the minimum age for Munchkins. Judy played a supporting role in Girl Next Door in 1937, working with Mickey Rooney. They were so close they made over 8 movies together. The fact that she was 14 compounded her troubles. The studio attempted nutrition and exercise but failed to help her lose weight. The only option left was to give her medicines, but they didn't realize that her mother had given her sleeping drugs and amphetamines. Judy took her medication and worsened her addiction. When she got home from shooting, she wanted to eat, study her script, and bathe. Everyone did that, but Judy's sensitivity kept her up at night. Judy told me a studio doctor prescribed her drugs in those years. Much of it was for her weight, because these photographs were coming out. Music woke her awake after they gave her a sleeping medicine. She needed a medication to avoid grogginess on set in the morning. They weren't ordering her. Movie completion was their goal. She once told me she wants to stop, but doesn't know how. She can't tell Mr. Mayer you won't, therefore you had to do it then. She knew she couldn't resist this medicine. She was offered the lead part in Wizard of Oz at 17 in 1938. The chance to play her first starring part consumed her. She grew fascinated with work and woke up early every day. However, her busy schedule cost her. It was one of MGM's most expensive films and a smash. Music. Judy appeared in the 1939 premiere with Mickey Rooney to agree with audiences that they loved 2D, but her mother's expectations were making her unhappy. Judge Judy's mother and studio advised her not to date gorgeous composer David Rose, 12 years her senior. Judy fell in love with Rose and dated him over their misgivings. In 1941, they married. Judy's mother's demands and her new spouse kept her busy. She believed she had found bliss. Maybe she married too young to escape everyone telling her what to do. We liked visiting her and adored David. He was quiet but cute, and she was a lovely hostess. A year after marriage, she discovered she was pregnant. Her mother and studio opposed the pregnancy. They felt it would tarnish Judy's innocence. Judy was determined to win. She told her mother she would have the child and expected to be happier. However, the studio was adamant and wanted Judy to remain the virgin gold the viewers liked, not happy. Judy was upset when her mother terminated the baby at an illegal clinic. Her drugs made her unpleasant, so she resorted to psychotherapy in 1943. Screaming match. Mother went berserk. Mayer went insane thinking MGM stars were crazy. How could they do this if crazy? A mother's love is enough for this girl. Mama asked how he could reject this with tears in his eyes. She probably loathed her. The mother said, "I know what they do, or they lock her in a closet. Girl needs discipline." I continued telling him to find her help. Give me a year and things will improve, but the more you wait, the tougher it will be, and you'll realize it won't happen. Garland was filming Meet Me in St. Louis, her 18th feature. Garland disliked her role. She thought the character and speech were beneath her. Stress didn't help, and her director, Vincente Minnelli, noticed how much she needed to be gentle and drew close to her. The young actor portrayed her role carefully after working with her and helping her comprehend her character. You could give her 20 things to improve her performance, and she was thinking a lot. It wasn't clear if you were getting through to her because you kept promising her everything will be all right and that she was a wonderful artist who knew 20 ways to portray a scenario. Work with that kind of individual on all those shows is great. She fell for Duke, a dynamic and skilled director, and they had an affair. In 1945, they married. Friends and co-workers advised Judy that Minnelli's feminine behavior suggested he was gay. Benson was described similarly. His appearance didn't suggest a relationship or marriage. Ewood wore makeup and washed one set when he started working at MGM. Garland was thrilled with her new husband despite the rumors. When she got pregnant again, she stopped taking her medicines to please Minnelli, who developed an addiction during pregnancy. Critics praised her voice and appearance until Clouds Roll By, which she starred in while pregnant. After Judy's first child, Liza Minnelli, was born in 1946, everyone was happy because Judy would finally have time to enjoy her life. You know she'll have family, and someone to love her for being a mom. Before her next film, The Pirate with Gene Kelly, Garland looked to have it all. Her obstacle and pregnancy weight increase led her to restart her medications. She became addicted to sleeping drugs again, and her excessive doses caused erratic conduct on set. Her spouse told me she would become paranoid and need to be driven home early because she couldn't contain herself. Amphetamines cause paranoia, and when she was on the Pirate set, there were horrible bonfires and dancers, and she screamed, "They're trying to kill me, they want to burn me alive," like Joan of Arc being taken to the stake. Though she wasn't, Judy had to be carried home from Ron. There she was encircled by a complex web of pals who gave her what she wanted, destroying her. She was loving, but I could tell when I went home. She went to the hospital in 1947 to heal. Judy started a popular Easter parade later that year. MGM offered Susie a role in Annie and Annie Get Your Gun in 1949. Her hair loss and drug problems worsened this time. She took more medications till she reached a safe limit that would have killed many others. She went to a hospital to sober up when MGM suspended her. After being sober, Judy Garland returned to Los Angeles. This should have been excellent, but the studio urged her to lose the pounds she gained while rehabilitation. Garland returned to pills and tossed away her work since she had no one to hold to. She needed leadership, but by 1950, none was there. Ms. Minnelli was crumbling. Addiction was harming her health. She was paralyzed, couldn't get on stage, couldn't remember her lines, and got into fights. I guess her life was horrible. She was causing more studio issues by picking fights. Later, she had a mental collapse since she was suspended every day. Actresses seeking attention let her try to slit her throat with a blade. Her husband found her and rushed her to the hospital, where they diagnosed a minor cut that needed a bandage. It was obvious that Garland's plea was performance. Judy has always been emotional, and I suppose it was because she felt sorry for herself and couldn't change it. It was like she drowned those babies. Of course, Judy Garland scum. Bush, that sounded like Jack the Ripper. Not always, it was a cry for aid. She abused herself. She urgently needed attention and thought it was the only way. After being released from MGM, she went to radio, where she hosted Over the Rainbow 2, which drew international audiences. She and I started in radio together and enjoyed working for Pepsodent. Yes, Pepsodent didn't have a sponsor, but she met Say Loved, who could sing all four skills, her future husband. Her divorce with Vincente Minnelli followed his hiring of her as a manager. Her singing career improved, and Left Head had Judy write this. He had her heart, soul, trust, love, respect, and knew what she needed. Her singing career flourished by 1952. Her Happy Little For the Birds Fly Beyond the Rainbow Why Work made her renowned. Music. Wow. Later that year, she married her second child's father while pregnant. She thought this was her chance to be happy and had her daughter 9 months later. I think Sid Love was her best marriage because he gave her stability. Judy needed confidence most. Judy's starring part in The Starborn looked to restart her career. Judy's euphoric moment ended when she learned her mother had died of a parking lot heart attack. I didn't comprehend how Ethel perished in the parking lot. She handled things beautifully. Why couldn't she manage Ethel? Judy cried and needed more drugs to calm down. Due to her childhood maltreatment, Judy still mourned her mother, which strained her connection with her. She became more addicted and went to tremendous measures to get it. She was becoming the wreck she had escaped so desperately. Even though the actress was flawed, the film premiered in 1954 and was praised as the year's best by most audiences. After Sun complained about the lean, MGM gave up and removed a big part from the initial edit, leaving audiences unhappy and uninterested. Judy was broken. Film was faded. Sid constantly spent her money at the racecourse. Judy was broke and needed money, but she had no choice. After her third child, she returned to work, but film companies wouldn't hire her. She went to CBS and agreed to host a show for $100,000 to support her family. You think this is the season's first board start show, and Miss Judy Garland makes her TV debut. Despite her show's success, she was in debt and lost confidence. Her parents abused her more as she gained weight. She was hospitalized with acute hepatitis. She was advised to have surgery to empty her fluid. Even if she survives 5 years, she will never sing again. Dr. Thomas stated she nearly died alone. I informed Judy of her New York hospital and introduced Nick. I want you to hold my hand, and we can create. Her fluid was gently drained by doctors. She was given 5 years to live and told she would never sing again. She performed at Carnegie Hall in 1961 despite physicians' predictions that she would never sing again. She wowed everyone, and Clapton stood up from his chair in delight. She received many accolades and Grammys for her songs, and starred in 2 more movies despite negative reviews. After getting good reviews for her next film, her mood altered and she started acting badly again, causing cast clashes. However, like a roller coaster, things picked up again. The Judy Garland Show, her film-to-TV show, was offered to her. She interviewed celebrities and even had her kids on certain shows. The show became pointless, boring spectators. Studios said the show will not be renewed in 1964. This was beyond Garland's comfort. Her sister supported her emotionally and financially. She lost all her money and was homeless after the show, despite making tens of millions. Another mental collapse landed her in the ICU. After death, Garland was found. Liza Minnelli, her oldest daughter, was famous musically and living alone. With her youngest daughters, Joey and Lorna, living with their father, she divorced her. She was attempting to survive alone. She married young actor-to-be Mark Huron, who could make her laugh but couldn't handle her outbursts. Garland was sacked from sets for wrecking her dressing rooms and having nasty tempers, so she had nowhere to go. She was late to events and needed help. Thus her followers lost respect for her. Then she met Mickey Deans, her 5th and last spouse. Mickey Deans knocked on the bathroom door on June 26, 1969, to notify his wife a friend had called, but no one answered. He reported a dreadful feeling ran through him and through the roof. Judy was seen through the window by Deans. Cold and stone still, she was. After Dean phoned the police in Prono, Garland was found dead. An accidental overdose killed her. She had finally met the folks who had desired more from her since childhood. Judy gave and gave to avoid disappointing them, which killed her. She didn't intend to die. Her body felt her actions. All were shocked, but they knew she was addicted. On June 25th, her body was flown to New York City from her memorial, where fans mourned the woman who gave everything. They were informed it was the place at the end of the rainbow without problems. It must be quiet there. Boats and trains are too far away to get there.